Did you know there are some everyday dried fruits, the kind you probably see all the time, that can actually help restore your fading vision while you sleep? Sounds unbelievable, right? But after more than 30 years of working with older adults here in the U.S., I've seen it happen again and again. Many of my patients have said to me, "Doctor, I can't see clearly when I drive at night anymore, or I have to hold my book farther away to read." That feeling when the world slowly fades into a blur truly makes people feel sad and isolated. But I always tell them that's not the end of the story. Your eyes can still heal if you nourish them the right way. And today I want to share with you 6 familiar dried fruits, small snacks that can make a big difference. They're not only delicious, but packed with powerful nutrients that protect your retina, soothe dry, irritated eyes, and bring back the light you thought was gone. So, if you've noticed your vision slowly weakening with age, stay with me, because what comes next might just change the way you care for your eyes forever. Before we continue, I'd love to know, how old are you and where are you watching from? Stay until the end of this video and tell me in the comments if you've been eating any of these dried fruits before bed. I read every comment and love connecting with you. Have you ever thought that a tiny dried fig could help you see better at night? It sounds almost too simple to believe, but trust me, I've seen it happen in many of my patients. I still remember one afternoon vividly. A 72-year-old man named Harold walked into my clinic. He looked at me sadly and said, "Doctor, my stars are gone." I asked, "What do you mean your stars are gone?" He smiled faintly and said, "I can't see them anymore. I used to point out every constellation in the sky, but now it's all just darkness." Harold wasn't the first to tell me that. As we age, our eyes lose the ability to regenerate photoreceptor cells, those tiny cells in the retina that help us see in the dark and distinguish colors and light. But the reason isn't just age, it's also a lack of the essential nutrients your eyes need to repair themselves each night. That's where dried figs come in as a trusted friend. Dried figs are rich in natural vitamin A, and its precursors, beta-carotene and lutein. These act like a protective coating for the retina, maintaining corneal clarity and improving night vision. If you've ever felt like your eyes go dim at dusk or take a few minutes to adjust when you walk indoors from bright sunlight, that's a sign your eyes are lacking vitamin A. But figs don't stop there. Inside each one are powerful antioxidant polyphenols, like quercetin rutin and chlorogenic acid, that clear away the free radicals, silently damaging your photoreceptor cells. I like to call them the quiet workers, sweeping away the dust of time that builds up on your vision every day. I advised Harold to try a simple habit. Eat 2 or 3 dried figs in the evening about an hour before bed, along with a small handful of walnuts or a spoon of almond butter. This combination helps your body absorb the fat-soluble nutrients better and gently fuels your eyes' natural repair process while you sleep. 4 weeks later, he came back. This time, his face was glowing. "Doctor," he said, "my stars are back." I'll never forget that moment, not because of a miracle, but because it showed the power of patience and proper nourishment. The human body, even at 70, can still heal if we give it what it truly needs. So if you're looking for a simple way to bring light back into your eyes, start small with a few dried figs before bed. It's inexpensive, effortless, and carries a powerful message your health can change, starting with the smallest daily choices. Now, let's talk about another fruit sweeter, softer, and full of life: the date. I call it the sweet gift of the desert. For thousands of years, people in the Middle East have used dates not only to restore energy, but to soothe tired eyes after long days in the scorching sun and dusty winds. Many of my patients complain, "Doctor, my eyes always feel dry and burning. I've tried every kind of eye drop, but they still sting and itch." Those were the words of Martha, a 68-year-old librarian I'll never forget. She loved books and read every night until her eyes began to fight back. "After just 10 minutes, I have to close my eyes. They burn too much," she told me. "Breaks my heart because reading is my only joy at night." After an exam, I found she had chronic dry eyes, a very common condition in older adults, especially when tear glands lose their strength. And that's where dates turned out to be the natural remedy no one expected. Dates are rich in vitamin B6, a vital nutrient that nourishes the optic nerve, the bridge that connects your eyes to your brain. When this nerve functions smoothly, visual signals travel faster and clearer, reducing fatigue and sharpening focus. But that's just the beginning. Inside every date are lutein and zeaxanthin, two plant compounds that act like natural sunglasses for your eyes. They gather in the macula, the central part of the retina, responsible for detailed vision and color recognition. By eating dates regularly, these pigments filter out harmful blue light from phones, TVs, and LED lamps, the very light that quietly strains your eyes every single day. And here's something few people know: dates naturally help your body retain moisture, thanks to their natural sugars that bind with water and soluble fiber. In other words, when you eat dates, your body stays hydrated longer, keeping your eyes moist, calm, and comfortable through the night. I suggested a simple little formula for Martha: 2 dates, eaten about an hour before bedtime, along with a small handful of pumpkin seeds, a zinc-rich snack that helps vitamin A travel efficiently to the retina. 3 weeks later, Martha called me back. Her voice was trembling, but full of excitement. "Doctor, I just finished reading my first novel in 2 years. No stinging, no burning, no stopping." I'll never forget how happy I felt hearing that. Not because it was a miracle, but because she had nourished her eyes from within, naturally, slowly, and consistently. Dates aren't medicine. They're a gentle reminder from nature that true healing begins with patience and self-care. If your eyes ever feel dry, hot, or tired, start with something simple. 2 dates each night, a glass of water, and a little faith that your body can still heal itself, no matter your age. When people think of raisins, they usually picture a sweet little snack, maybe sprinkled on oatmeal or tucked inside a muffin. But few realize that those tiny wrinkled grapes hold a quiet strength that helps protect your vision every single day. I'll never forget Eleanor, a 75-year-old seamstress. She loved every stitch and every thread. Each evening she would sit by a small desk lamp, mending pieces of pastel fabric she called memories. Then one day she told me, "Doctor, I can't see the thread anymore. Everything looks foggy, like a veil of mist." I looked into her gentle eyes and saw the marks of fatigue, not from age alone, but from years of silent damage to the photoreceptor cells in her retina caused by light exposure pollution and oxidative stress. That's why, in cases like hers, I often recommend adding a small handful of raisins each day. They seem so simple, yet they have the power to sweep away the free radicals, quietly attacking the retina. You see, raisins are packed with antioxidants, especially quercetin and resveratrol, two compounds often called the eye's anti-aging duo. They neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and protect the light-sensitive cells in your retina, the very cells that let you see color and fine detail. Raisins are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin golden-orange pigments that filter harmful blue light, the same light that makes many older adults squint or feel eye strain when driving at night or watching TV too long. These pigments work like built-in sunglasses, reducing glare, easing strain, and calming your vision. But there's another secret most people don't know: raisins contain boron, a trace mineral your body needs only in tiny amounts, yet it's vital. Boron helps regulate the absorption of calcium and magnesium, two minerals that directly affect the performance of your eye muscles and optic nerves. When your eye muscles function smoothly, you can shift focus from near to far or from bright to dim light without strain or fatigue. I advised Eleanor. Each afternoon before dinner, eat a small handful of raisins, about 2 tablespoons, with a few walnuts or almonds. The healthy fats in the nuts help your body absorb the fat-soluble nutrients from the raisins and also stabilize your blood sugar through the evening. 3 weeks later, she came back. I asked, "Do you still see the mist in front of your eyes?" She smiled softly, her hands trembling as she held up a newly finished piece of embroidery. "No more, doctor. I can thread the needle again." That moment reminded me healing doesn't always come from expensive pills. Sometimes it comes from the simplest, most loving habits we build with our own bodies. So, if your eyes feel tired, blurry, or overly sensitive to light, start small, a handful of raisins and a few walnuts each day. Sometimes that's all it takes for the world before you to look clearer and brighter than ever. Now, let's talk about a fruit that shines as bright as the sun itself, dried apricots. I like to call them little pockets of sunlight because each one holds nutrients that help your eyes stay clear and resilient over time. Let me tell you about Robert, a kind 70-year-old man who lives in suburban California. He had worked as a bus driver for more than 40 years. After retiring, what he missed most wasn't the job. It was the night drives, the glow of streetlights on the mirror, the city bathed in warm golden hues. But a few years ago, Robert stopped driving at night. "Headlights are too blinding, Doctor," he said. "I can't tell where the road ends and the dark begins anymore." I knew exactly how he felt, that fear of not being able to trust your vision the way you used to. I explained that as we age, our bodies gradually lose vitamin A and beta-carotene, 2 vital nutrients for producing rhodopsin, a protein in the retina that helps us see in low light. And here's the beautiful part. Dried apricots are one of nature's richest, most concentrated sources of both. Each dried apricot is like a tiny capsule of natural vitamin A, helping the retina regenerate photoreceptor cells and improving your ability to adapt between bright and dark environments. That's why older adults who regularly eat dried apricots often experience less glare, clearer night vision, and quicker eye adjustment when moving into darker rooms. Apricots also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, the same powerful pigments that filter blue light from phones, computers, and TVs, the artificial glow that quietly wears down our eyes day after day. When eaten regularly, these pigments build up in the macula, the center of your retina, forming a natural shield, almost like wearing invisible blue light glasses inside your own eyes. Another wonderful thing about dried apricots is their potassium content. This mineral doesn't just support heart health, it also helps regulate intraocular pressure, reducing the risk of glaucoma, one of the leading causes of permanent vision loss among older adults. When combined with soluble fiber, dried apricots also help stabilize blood sugar levels, which in turn protects the tiny blood vessels in the retina from damage. I gave Robert a simple daily habit. Each afternoon he would eat 3 dried apricots with a small piece of dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains flavonoids that help dilate the capillaries in the eyes and improve oxygen circulation, a perfect pairing. 6 weeks later he returned, smiling warmly, his eyes bright with happiness. "Doctor," he said, "I drove home last night after dinner, and for the first time in years the headlights didn't blind me." I smiled back. There was no miracle here, just consistency and the quiet power of nature. Each dried apricot, each mindful meal, when sustained with patience, can open a new light for eyes that have grown weary over the years. So if your eyes aren't what they used to be, don't lose hope. Start small with a few dried apricots a day, because sometimes the light you've been searching for is already resting in the palm of your hand. Today, I want to tell you about a small, deep blue fruit that carries incredible strength for our eyes, dried blueberries. Many call them nature's purple jewels, And after decades of working with older adults, I've never seen another fruit so delicious, yet so powerful for vision health. One morning, a 66-year-old woman named Linda walked into my clinic, her thick glasses slipping down her nose. She smiled a kind, gentle smile, but I could see the fatigue behind it. "Dr. Porter," she said, "I don't know if it's just aging, but lately everything seems blurry. And when I go outside, my eyes sting like needles." I glanced at her test results and asked softly, "Do you spend a lot of time on screens?" She sighed. "Every day. I love looking at my grandkids' photos on Facebook, but now the phone's light burns my eyes." Linda's story is far from rare. Blue light from phones, computers, and TVs might seem harmless, but it forces the retina to fight strain every single day. That's why I suggested she start with something simple. Add dried blueberries to her evening routine. You see, blueberries are among the richest natural sources of anthocyanins, those deep purple pigments that boost blood flow to the retina, reduce inflammation, and shield photoreceptor cells from blue light damage. I often tell my patients, if your retina is the camera of your eyes, anthocyanins are the lens cleaner, quietly protecting and polishing your vision every day. But dried blueberries offer even more. Inside each one lies a blend of vitamin C, vitamin K, zinc, and manganese, all essential for maintaining the network of tiny blood vessels behind the eyes that supply oxygen and nutrients to the retina. When those vessels stay strong, your eyes stay brighter, more flexible, and less fatigued. I guided Linda to start gently, 2 tablespoons of dried blueberries each evening, about an hour before bed, with a small handful of walnuts. The healthy fats in the nuts help the body absorb the fat-soluble antioxidants from the blueberries. I told her, don't worry about doing a lot, just be consistent. Make it your little nighttime ritual. 4 weeks later, she returned. She took off her glasses and smiled. "Doctor," she said, "I still need my reading glasses, but light doesn't hurt anymore. I can look at my phone without that burning. And at night, the colors look clear again like they used to." That moment touched me deeply. Not because blueberries are some kind of miracle cure, but because they remind us that the body can heal itself when we nurture it with love and patience. I often tell my patients, it's never too late to start caring for your eyes. Every blueberry you eat today is a small step toward seeing the world clearly again. So if your eyes feel dry, strained, or blurred, when you look at screens, don't assume it's just age. Start with something small, a few dried blueberries each night. Sometimes recovery doesn't come from magic. It comes from the simplest habits repeated daily with faith that your eyes can still shine brighter than yesterday. And finally, I want to tell you about a fruit many people think is only good for digestion, but in truth it's also a quiet guardian of your eyes, the prune or dried plum. I once had a patient named Helen, 74, a lively woman whose cheerful smile had recently given way to worry. "Doctor," she said lately, "everything just seems darker. Colors don't look bright anymore. It's like there's a thin layer of smoke between me and the world." I knew exactly what that meant. Early signs of macular degeneration, AMD, a silent but common condition in older adults that gradually blurs central vision over time. Instead of relying solely on medication, I encouraged her to add prunes to her daily diet. She chuckled. "Prunes? Doctor, I thought those were just for digestion," I smiled. "Yes, they do help with that, but they also nourish your eyes, because what they heal isn't just in your stomach, it's in the tiny blood vessels that feed your retina." You see, prunes contain polyphenols, vitamin K, and boron, a trio of powerful antioxidants that protect retinal cells from damage and help maintain the elasticity of blood vessel walls in the eyes. That means better circulation, more oxygen, and more nutrients reaching the photoreceptor cells, so your eyes stay clearer, stronger, and recover faster after long days of use. Another powerful benefit of prunes lies in their boron content. Boron helps balance the body's absorption of calcium and magnesium, two essential minerals that regulate eye muscle function and the transmission of visual nerve signals. I often tell my patients if your eyes are the windows to the soul, then boron is the hinge that keeps those windows moving smoothly. Another gift of prunes is their ability to help stabilize blood sugar levels at night. When blood sugar fluctuates too much, the lens of the eye can expand and contract irregularly, leading to temporary blurry vision, something many older adults experience in the mornings. The soluble fiber in prunes helps maintain stable glucose levels, giving you a deeper sleep and allowing your eyes to truly rest. I advised Helen to eat 2 prunes every evening along with a spoonful of chia seeds or a few chestnuts. The healthy fats in the seeds help your body absorb the oil-based antioxidants found in prunes. I told her, don't expect miracles, just be consistent. Your eyes need time to awaken again. After about a month, she returned with bright, joyful eyes and a glowing smile. "Doctor," she said, "I can see the green in my garden again." I forgot how beautiful it was. That moment left me speechless because it wasn't just about nutrition. It was about hope being rekindled and light returning to someone's life. Prunes aren't a magic pill, but they're proof of nature's quiet strength and the healing power of consistency. Just 2 little prunes before bed, a simple nightly ritual, can gently nourish your eyes with love and faith. Remember, light doesn't come only from the sun. It also comes from the small caring habits you practice every day, and sometimes that light begins with a single prune resting in the palm of your hand. Now, you might be wondering, so how should I actually eat these dried fruits for the best results? Let me share with you an optimal, simple, and completely safe way, especially for older adults. First, remember this: less, but consistent. Each evening, about an hour before bed, prepare your gift for your eyes: 2 dried figs, 1 to 2 dates, 2 tablespoons of raisins, 3 dried apricots, a few dried blueberries or prunes, and don't forget a small handful of nuts: almonds, walnuts, or sunflower seeds. Why this combination? Because the healthy fats in nuts help your body absorb the antioxidants and carotenoids in dried fruits more effectively. This is key for those nutrients to actually reach your retina and optic nerves. Eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and drink a small glass of water afterward to help dissolve the fiber-aid digestion and keep your eyes naturally hydrated through the night. You don't need to do this every day. 4 to 5 times a week is enough. You can also rotate the fruits to keep things interesting: figs and dates today, apricots and blueberries tomorrow, raisins and prunes the next. That's it, a gentle, easy routine. But if you stay consistent, your eyes will thank you every night. Because it's during sleep, when your body is nourished properly, that your eyes begin to repair themselves and the light gently returns each morning. And with that, we've come to the end of this meaningful little journey discovering 6 simple dried fruits that can help restore your vision, protect your eyes, and keep the light in your life. No expensive pills, no complicated formulas. Just a few moments each evening to care for yourself with a few figs, dates, raisins, apricots, blueberries, or prunes. These small daily acts can create powerful, lasting change, not just for your eyes, but for your confidence, your energy, and your joy in living. Remember, your eyes don't just see the world, they reflect your health and your spirit. So love them starting tonight. If you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss my next natural health and nutrition tips for living well at every age. I'm Dr. Henry Mason, and I truly believe every day you care for yourself even just a little is another day you'll see the world more clearly and more beautifully than before.